I'm Jim Galusha, Silverado Stages, and I'd like to say a couple things about our driver, Tallia. She was a very nice person, and actually, I did not personally know her that well, so I'm going to invite one of my ops managers who did work closely with her to tell you a little bit about her, to try to put a face with the name. You can obviously see she's a very pleasant person. But before I do that, I would like to thank everyone at CBA for the very warm welcome back into this wonderful organization. On April 10th of this year, I got the call that no bus operator wants to get. It was about 6:30 in the evening in the middle of dinner, and I got very little information, but by the time I made it to the office, I was told about this horrible incident in which a FedEx truck crossed over the median and slammed head-on into a bus, one of my buses, and several people, including our driver, the driver of the FedEx truck, and some, I think 7 or 8 others, including some very young adults, perished in that accident. I consider Tallia in this incident to be a hero. She actually performed exceptionally well, laying down 145 foot of skid marks and taking evasive action to try to avoid this collision. And unfortunately, she wasn't totally successful, but there were a lot of survivors in this accident. I would like to personally thank my insurance company, Lancer, for helping us through this incident. They were extremely helpful from the morning after and the following 3 months in which the DOT was in my office doing their investigation. I'd also like to thank the manufacturers, all the manufacturers, the bus manufacturers, a lot of product manufacturers that reached out to Silverado and offered their assistance and their condolences. Don Jensen for bringing food into my operation. It's amazing what a little something like that can do to help your staff cope with something like this. I received condolences from bus companies all across the United States, people that I didn't know, but people that realized that something like this could happen to them just as easy as it happened to me. I received contact almost immediately from Susie from the CBA, who offered to help us set up a fund to collect money for Tallia's family, and I appreciate that. And all the bus companies in California that reached out to us that we've known for years, that was extremely helpful helping us handle this situation. I would like to turn it over to Tip Thompson now and have him tell you a little bit about Tallia on a little more personal level. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Jim. Let me give you a little of the Tallia backstory. There's always a lot that goes into this, but Tallia started her career as a motor coach operator in 1988 for San Mateo County Transit Authority. She drove for almost 20 years for them, received hours and hours of training. It's a very congested, very urbanized area, so she got great experience in coach handling. As most of us, she got tired of going in circles, decided she wanted to take her career to the next level, so she decided to evolve as a driver and try charter operations, and joined a small company in Stockton by the name of Delta Charter, where she got more training and more experience. But that wasn't quite enough for Tallia. She really wanted to be at the top of her field. She always wanted to learn and grow. So she joined Ryan's Express in Sacramento, where she had the opportunity to do 11 and 14-day international tours that took her all over the western United States. And again, additional training. When they closed their doors, I was able to recruit her to my Silverado team in Sacramento, where again, she got more training and more experience. In fact, I can still remember her road test. She had that calm, smooth, self-assured driving style that, you know, a veteran driver with lots of training kind of exudes. But she had all three sides of the triangle when it comes to driving. Her driving skills got her, or opened all sorts of doors for her. In fact, she was one of 3 drivers selected for the Salt Lake City Olympics to drive the visiting teams. I think one of her strongest suits was customer service. She engendered trust and earned people's respect from the second she met them. When she was working for Ryan's, she had the Tennessee women's vaults softball team for a few days. By the second day, they were asking her to move to Tennessee and be their professional driver for them. But, you know, maintenance and mechanical side, she had what my wife, who was a Ford tech at one point, would refer to as a butometer. She could sense and feel when something was wrong with the bus before it was an issue. And she did a good pre-trip. All this was driven by her desire to provide a safe, comfortable experience for her clients. So on April 10th, when she was heading northbound on I-5 at 70.1 miles an hour in the number 2 lane, and 300 feet in front of her, coming at her at 59.5 miles an hour, that FedEx truck, she didn't have to think about what to do. She didn't have to wonder if she had been in the right lane. All those years of experience and all that training that we promote and, you know, give our drivers came to a focal point where she was able just to react and do what she needed to do. And she probably slowed that coach down by 40 to 45 miles an hour, really decreasing the intensity or the energy in that accident. She really is a hero. There's many more survivors from that accident because of her quick reactions. Also, the trust she had in that coach to perform as it did, and Cetra did a beautiful job with that coach. I never would have guessed that coach would have stopped that quickly. So, you know, she really was a class act. She was dedicated to this industry. She loved what she did. She was a great, you know, ambassador for this industry. And we really appreciate, and, you know, for her family and her friends that aren't here, and for those of us who worked for her, it's very gracious of you to honor her in this way, and we really appreciate it. So thank you.